I know this is not the traditional self-care that you probably want to hear. This is probably not the traditional self-care that you want to see. For instance, if your boyfriend is not acting right and you keep telling him, do this, do this, do this, and you done told him 5 times to do one thing, and each time he doing that same one thing, and you done told him multiple times, are you gonna keep telling him? No, you're gonna sit down, re-strategize, and do something differently. Okay, obviously my approach is not working. I need to do something differently.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs I tried to fill in the cracks. That was spreading in my mind, but I was all out of hope, lost in an endless maze. The emptiness had unfolded just like a void, but you broke the coldness somehow and lit up a flame. Ooh, I was done feeling hopeless, screamed out loud because it felt impossible in my bones, like getting.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Glamourgirlslay, and I'm back again with another video. So if you look at the thumbnail, I'm here with a little self-care video, okay? So also I put in the front, like, you're gonna see a few motivation things from my day, from my life, that I decided to just piece together so I can personalize this video so y'all can understand where I'm coming from before I get into the message. I just want to say, if you're not subscribed to my channel, girl, what is you doing? What are you doing? Subscribe to your girl channel, hit the notification bell so you can be alerted whenever I do a new video. And without further ado, oh, and I want to say, if you're new here, welcome to the family. I appreciate you for being a glam doll and glam slayer. So also, like I was going to say, without further ado, we're going to get into the topic of discussion, which is to take care of yourself. And why I decided to do this video, or what brought me to do this video, is because I do have like anxiety, y'all. Like, I don't suffer from no depression or anything like that, but I feel like everybody has an ounce of anxiety inside of their being. I have anxiety to where, like, sometimes, y'all, it used to be so bad where if I went in the grocery store, I could not handle it because it was too much stress for me just to be around tons of people. And I'm more introvert. As I grow older, I'm 25 right now, I get used to like going in public. So now I'm not that, like, I don't know, I'm not that anxious to be in public, but I still have anxiety. Really made me want to do this video is so that I can help people that goes through like anxiety or feel the same emotions that I be feeling sometimes. So the video says self-care, right? So y'all are expecting me to tell y'all self-care. Now, I know as of lately, this is no shade, a lot of YouTubers do this self-care video where, to me, it's more like pampering yourself more than self-care. So we're not going to be talking about like massages, drinking your juice, you snatch your drink, whatever y'all like to drink. We're not talking about that today. So that's not what we're doing. When I say self-care, I'm talking about real self-care. I'm talking about self-care that doesn't involve the extra things. When I say self-care, I'm talking about you as in internally. I'm talking about self-care as in you. I'm talking about self-care as in things like loving ourselves, being compassionate towards ourselves, because I feel like that's all a part of like the self-care process. A lot of the times people get self-care, I feel like, confused with like treating yourself, pampering yourself. And although I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, those are all good things. We want to feel good, we want to treat ourselves, we want to pamper ourselves. But it's not about the outside. Sometimes it's about the inside. So what are you feeling internally? How are you going to take care of yourself better internally? So that's why I came up with this video, to kind of be different, because I see, like, I watch tons of other YouTubers, honestly, and sometimes I'm looking for something that can help me, because I'm human. So sometimes I'm like, let me try to find something, and I could not find nothing, y'all. I could not find nothing that was really helpful other than people taking their baths, sipping their juice, and opening up their windows to let some sunlight in. That was all I was getting from people videos, no shade. But honestly, after watching those videos, I still didn't feel better about myself. It still wasn't making me feel motivated. It still wasn't making me feel like better. Like I didn't feel like they helped me to, like, oh, I want to take care of myself. Like, no, I don't know, like, it's no shade, but I'm just saying, when I say self-care, I'm talking about setting boundaries. I'm talking about things like there's people in our lives that we are afraid to sometimes say no to. They call us, they ask us for favors, they ask us to do things that's outside of our comfort zone, and we feel like we always have to say yes, yes, and we always give in and say yes. But I'm saying sometimes it's okay to say no. Honestly, all the time, it is okay to say no. Like, despite what we have been taught and programmed to believe, like, we can always tell people no. Like, you are in control of yourself. So I feel like if someone's coming to you and it's something that you really don't want to do, you just say no. Just tell them no. Like, don't even bother wasting your energy, giving them your time. Just tell them no. Because the whole thing of self-care is to be comfortable with yourself. And I feel like you are doing something that's making you very uncomfortable when you're constantly telling people yes, and you're going through things yourself and you're trying to help these people. So when I say self-care, it's doing things like starting with telling people no. Telling people no, I can't do it. Even if they ask for a ride, they might be asking for some money and you just can't do it. It's just no. It's just that simple. Like, no, I cannot do it. And I know people are probably like, oh, I'm not mean, but it has nothing to do with being mean. It has everything to do with your self-care, because when you do too much for everyone, then you're not doing enough for yourself. And you can't be everything to everybody. You can't be everything for everyone. Not always say yes to people, because then you're going to find yourself in a vicious cycle of just saying yes and not taking care of your well-being. That's when you're slowly going to start feeling sad. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel like people are using you. And to avoid all of that, when it's something that you don't want to do, simply tell these people no. Start telling these people no. That's going to be the first step. The first step to self-care is start today. When homegirl call you and she asking for a ride and you just know that you out of it, you tired, just say no. Don't stress about it. If family members are calling you and they're like, I need you to help me with this, and you really can't do it, you don't want to do it, no, it's nothing wrong with that. Take care of you. So what is my goal for this video? My goal for this video today is hopefully that you get this video and feel better about doing the basic necessities, like taking a bath, taking a walk, taking quality time out for yourself to do basic things without saying that it's self-care. I know it sounds confusing, but okay, let me provide an example. For example, I have 2 kids and I'm pregnant. So I have 2 toddlers. And sometimes I find myself, of course you're going to do everything for your children, but I find myself making it like a point to just, I get so caught up in doing things, not just for my toddlers, for other people. And I realize, darn, like I'm so stressed because I'm doing stuff for everybody else that I'm like, I haven't read a book. I want to read a book. Or I haven't even took time to relax and watch a show. I haven't even took time to take me a nice long bubble bath. I haven't even took the time out to just flat iron and comb and brush my hair and do my makeup. Like basic things that you incorporate in your lifestyle that should just come naturally. I feel like that shouldn't be something that we consider self-care. It should be something that's mandatory, and start feeling better about doing the basic things without having to call it self-care, because a lot of the times we get caught up in doing things for the moment and not in our lifestyles. Meaning we would do this thing where we feel like we have to do a skincare regimen, we have to do a hair care regimen, we have to do makeup, and we have to do everything at one time. Like we have to go to the store, buy clothes, do all of that and call it self-care. That's a self-care day. But I want people to watch this video and know how to take the self-care and do it on a daily basis throughout your life. Like incorporate self-care throughout the journey of life. Self-care does not have to be one day where you just feel like you want to take one day out for yourself, because that's not enough self-care time. That's not enough of you taking care of yourself time. That's just a day. And honestly, we're human, and I can't understand, think about it. We have a whole year. We have a year with 12 months, and in those 12 months you're gonna take a day out of each month to care for yourself. Think about how much time that you're not allowing yourself to get things done. Like you're only giving yourself one day out of the month, and you're dedicating all those rest of those days to your children, to maybe your family members, to whomever that's in your life that you love and dedicate your time to, but you're not taking quality time out to dedicate to yourself on a day-to-day basis. So I want people to just understand that self-care is not just a one-day self-care, 24 hours of self-care. Self-care is when you do it every day, and you don't have to necessarily do everything in one day. But I started to, like, for instance, I'm gonna put it up here, but there's this app that I have on my phone, y'all, and I really do recommend that you get this app because it's like so perfect for people with anxiety, people that can't sleep. Honestly, it's for everyone, basically, because they have podcasts, and these podcasts are free after the 7-day trial, but it's so worth it. Yearly, it's $49.99, but if you do the trial, it's just 7 days, 7 days for free. And if you like it, you can continue and do the year, or you can do $14.99 per month. And no, this is not a sponsorship video, but I want y'all to know about the app because it truly helped me. So inside of the app, there's different podcasts for like relationships, sleeping, anxiety, friendships, journaling, everything that you can think of. There's something inside this app for you. Now, what I do like is that it comes with an area where you can put journal entries in. So I'm gonna like try to put some pictures, even include my journal entry of how I was feeling, because they allow you to put how you're feeling. You can journal for whatever and just save it, so that way you can always go on this app and keep track of what you're journaling. Like, I feel this way today, tomorrow you might feel a different way. You can put that inside of the app, so it's kind of like a tracker. I have insomnia, so I will be up all night, and there's this thing they have where it's supposed to be for meditation and relaxation and just helping you have a healthier sleep. So you can play literally on your phone, and they have visuals where you can hear beach waves and you can see the beach waves. Sometimes they'll have other ones where it's just like nature and you can hear the birds chirping, and it's supposed to relax you, it's supposed to calm you. Also, there's another thing that I really love about this app. Inside of the app, you can set it to remind you to do something. Like, I have it set for self-care, like just to a time. Literally, it pops up on my phone at 9:00 p.m. every day. It says take time for yourself, and I know at 9 o'clock, literally when that notification come on, I stop what I'm doing and I'm gonna take care of myself, like whatever that means that I want to do. Like, if I want to go do my hair, I'm gonna literally at 9 o'clock I'm gonna take care of all of it, because that's my time. And it helps you build a routine, a habit. Because honestly, I don't know, it feels weird when you try to force yourself to do something, you're like and you just don't get it done because you procrastinate. So I feel like the app helps you with people that procrastinate. It helps you with procrastination. You're not going to procrastinate because you're going to see that and know, okay, this is my time. And once you do it so often, it's going to be like a ritual, basically. That's what it's for. It gives you a ritual where you're like, okay, it's 9 o'clock, it's my time. Whatever time you want to choose, but 9 o'clock is what I choose, because I feel like the kids are kind of sleepy a little bit, and I just go and I get their dad and I'm like, okay, get them, I'm going to take care of myself. It's pamper time and whatever, self-care time. It's self-care time. So I would read a book. I would listen to some of those podcasts, and it actually monitors how many podcasts you watch throughout the day. So you can go and see, oh, I watched this many today. And it just, it's a motivational app, and I feel like it's positivity, and listening to those podcasts help you. And also, if you feel like you want to talk to a live person, there's people, like there's experts on the app that you can chat with to get you through whatever, like a counseling session. You explain to them. There's people you can interact with that comment on the podcast, and you can meet people. It's overall a great app, okay? So I do recommend you get that app, because that is a great app that I want to address when you're starting your self-care and into your self-care process. Sometimes we make a habit of doing the same thing. So how people treat us, we do the same things. Like, we continue to let them mistreat us. Granted, you can't control how somebody else treats you, but you can control how you treat yourself. If you don't show that you value yourself, if you don't show that you're treating yourself right, then they're gonna mistreat you based off of your own values, based off of how you feel about yourself. So in order to change those things, we have to step outside of comfort zone, and we have to get uncomfortable. So it's getting uncomfortable. I know that sounds crazy, because like, why would I make myself uncomfortable, and I'm trying to take care of myself? What I mean by make yourself uncomfortable is doing the things that you don't normally do. The opposite. That's what we're gonna call it. People like challenges now, the opposite challenge. So doing the opposite of what you would normally do. If somebody because I don't want to just say ask you for stuff, because people don't just ask you for stuff. They also may come to you for things and tell you things, and you just necessarily don't want to hear it. You like, I ain't for the drama today. Do the opposite of what you would do. Instead of talking to them, tell them, okay, I'm doing something, even if you gotta make up an excuse. If somebody's bothering you and asking you for something, do the opposite. Instead of giving to them, don't give to them. Doing the opposite. That way you can learn to do things different. If you constantly do things the same way and you're wondering why you're getting the same results, that's because you're never doing the opposite. You're doing everything the same way and it's repetitive. So start doing the opposite. Start doing something different. Start getting uncomfortable, making yourself uncomfortable. It's about addressing the things that needs to be addressed and re-strategizing. Like, for instance, if your boyfriend is not acting right and you keep telling him, do this, do this, do this, and you don't tell him 5 times to do one thing, and each time he doing that same one thing, and you don't tell him multiple times, are you gonna keep telling him? No, you're gonna sit down, re-strategize, and do something differently. Okay, obviously my approach is not working. I need to do something different. The opposite. Just do the opposite of what you would normally do. Just don't do the same thing, because you're gonna get the same results. So starting with taking care of yourself, you have to do the opposite. Like, that's like with my daughter. I was trying to get her off the pacifier, y'all. She's 2, and I was trying for a long time. I'm like, okay, trying to get her off the pacifier. I started doing the opposite. Instead of like giving it to her, oh, she's sleepy, do the opposite. It's like that, take it away, throw it in the trash, hide it, tell her no, tell her and explain why. Sometimes you don't even need to give an explanation. You just know to yourself that I'm doing the opposite, and that's what you do. Do the opposite, make yourself uncomfortable, okay? Care is also about forgiving, letting go, and understanding the things that you cannot change. So it's pretty much about acceptance. And what comes with that is accepting things for the way that they are, but you can make changes by not allowing people to stress you out, by not allowing people to take your energy, by not allowing people to drain you. Because sometimes we let other people's day affect our day. We let other people's attitude affect our attitude. We let other people's emotional baggage be our baggage. So you don't want to do that. So with self-care, take care of yourself. You're creating the life that you want, creating the life that you choose to create for yourself, not one that you're just being forced to live. A lot of us, we don't understand that we are in control of ourselves and we are in control of our own lives. So we can't constantly let people be in control of us, because if you let people control you, that's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna control you. So to take care of yourself, you need to control the situation, control how people treat you, by control how you're treating yourself. You have to be compassionate towards yourself. You have to love yourself, because that is all a part of self-care. That's why I'm saying we're not talking about, I know this is not the traditional self-care that you probably want to hear. This is probably not the traditional self-care that you want to see. We're used to seeing people pamper themselves. We're used to seeing people making self-care be this thing where it's how you are on the outside. It's what you wearing. But honestly, I might look good right now, but that's not going to make me feel better on the inside, because when, I don't know about y'all, but I ain't gonna lie, when I go to sleep, I don't look like this when I go to sleep, ever. So how is that going to make you feel good if when at nighttime all of this comes off, you're going to wake up in the morning and look yourself in the mirror and you're not going to have all of this. You're going to have to get all of this, but you can't get there. You can't get to all of this if you're not internally right, if you're not caring for yourself, because I know that's how I feel. Like, I can't bring myself to do my makeup if I'm sad. I can't bring myself to do my makeup if I'm mad. I can't bring myself to do anything for myself if I'm letting other people drain me and take my energy and stress me out. So starting with the self-care process, you have to love yourself. It's about loving yourself, being compassionate. Again, and I'm saying this so many times for a reason, because I need people to understand we're talking about real self-care. We're not talking about pampering and back massages, because at the end of the day, when you leave that massage therapist, the masseuse person, they're not gonna be there with you to keep giving you massages every night. That's just a cover up, you know. And we want to really get to the root of the problem, and to get to the root of the problem, we have to take care of ourselves literally take care of ourselves. That means how you take care of other people, how you take care of your child, that's how you take care of you. How you make sure that they fed, you know you're going to make sure they fed, because I ain't let mine go hungry. You're going to make sure that they got the proper sleep, because you don't want them to be tired. So what about yourself? You're doing all of this for other people. Why do you feel like you don't deserve that? Because you're human, and you do deserve it. We are human. We're not tough all the time. So self-care is about learning how to understand that you can't be tough all the time. Another thing with self-care is understanding that you are not perfect. None of us will ever be perfect. So we're not trying to get to perfection. We're just trying to get to comfortability. Comfortable, girl. You're trying to make yourself comfortable. So that is really what matters with self-care. You want to be comfortable. You don't want to be perfect, because like I said, none of us are perfect. We are not perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. If we were perfect, then we would just be perfect and have a perfect life, and that's just not the way that real life works. So understanding that you are not perfect. Self-care is allowing yourself to have a lazy day. If you're a tired girl and your house is messy and there's things everywhere, no, I'm not encouraging you to just be dirty, trifling, filthy, roaches. Obviously that's not what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that allow your home to get messy, because sometimes I know some people have OCD and they're neat freaks. It's okay to be like that. But if you have children, y'all might know what I'm talking about. Children can be messy sometimes. Even adults, man. Some adults are more messy than children, but we ain't gonna even get into that. My thing is, sometimes you cannot always push yourself to clean and clean and clean and clean and be a neat freak. So sometimes if you need to take one day off, even if it's a day, 2 days, and you just see the house is getting real messy and you're really tired, because it's nothing that you can do when you're tired. Honestly, you can push yourself, but if you push yourself, you're not taking care of yourself. So that's the opposite, and that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to learn to take care of ourselves. So if that house gets messy and you know you just done cleaned it, and you just really tired, let it get messy. Let it stay. Let it stay. Let it stay. Because if you force yourself to do it and you really don't want to do it, that's when it makes you more fatigued, and it drains you. So sometimes, girl, you gotta let it get messy. You gotta let it do what it do, because you know you ain't gonna let it stay messy. So just for the moment, relax. Go on the app that I told you about. Watch your podcast. Make yourself feel better first before you clean. Don't just force yourself to clean up and say, oh, because then you're gonna be, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and you're gonna just be mad about it. So don't do that. That is not self-care. That's not appropriate self-care. So that's what I learned, y'all, because honestly I hate when it gets cluttery. I feel like I can't get into my element and I can't get into my zone. So sometimes I know that my kids play a lot. I'm gonna let them play. I'm gonna let them put the toys everywhere. I'm gonna let them make it rain with the toys. That's what I'm gonna do. And then when I feel like I done, you know, why they doing that with the toys, I have to make myself feel better. I might light a candle. I might light an incense. Start listening to my podcast, and just overall just getting in a good mood. And then when I feel like I'm in a good mood, that helps me, because cleaning up is another form of kind of like meditation. I take my time. I don't rush when I clean. I take my time because I know I ain't got nothing else to do. I ain't got nowhere else to go. So I'm gonna take my time and clean up, and I feel better that way, because you see how the moral of the story is, I'm not being forced to do it. Nobody putting a gun in my head saying, oh, okay, you gotta clean it. I'm not looking at it like it's a job and a task. I'm looking at it like it's a routine. I want to get centered. I want to feel good. So my home needs to feel good, and I'm gonna make it feel good. And it's fun. It becomes fun then. It doesn't become like, oh my God, I'm cleaning and yes. So that is number, you know, I don't know where we at, number 3, number 4, whatever we at, but that is another thing to self-care. Sometimes you just gotta let it get messy. Self-care is knowing yourself and knowing when you need a break. I'm gonna repeat this again. Self-care is knowing yourself and when you are needing a break. Self-care is not about just treating yourself. It's not about getting a $100 bag, $200 shoes, shopping spree here, shopping spree there, Mac here, Mac there. Okay, y'all get the point. It's not about that. It's just knowing about how you feel and when you need a break. So that way you can take care of yourself. Self-care is about personal growth and development, so that you can have a healthier lifestyle. Because right now honestly. I hate to say the word because I don't think we can say the word, but we are in a pandemic. And self-care is the biggest thing right now because I feel like it has to do with your mental, it has to do with your internal being, and then we are also having this pandemic thing where sometimes people are quarantining, we are having loved ones that we can't really visit that often because we're not allowed to get up close and personal because of this virus. So the main thing is taking care of yourself so you can be able to handle the stress, the stressors, the stress factors that comes with this pandemic. Like, you want to have a healthier lifestyle. You don't want to really be stressing right now is what I'm saying, because it's so much going on in the world. People are dying that you have to protect your energy, protect yourself. You have to be happy within your life, because honestly life is short, and God forbid that we walk outside, because now it's like that. We can walk outside and be fine and then go to the store and then come home and then be sick, and you just never know. So be healthier, take care of yourself, and it starts within. It starts within, because honestly a lot of people cannot handle this virus right now. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the world, and I really don't want to get into that because we all know, because we all are in different parts of the world, but we see what's going on. Crime rate has risen. We see that people are not being able to handle the stress of the virus, and that's because it's a mental thing also, and we have to take care of ourselves. Once you take care of yourself better, you can deal with that better. You can deal with having to be inside your home. You can deal with not being able to go out all the time. You can deal with being grateful for what you have versus what you don't have. So let's start by personal growth and development. Last but not least, you guys, if you're watching this, stick with me, because we almost at the end. Girl. We almost at the end. I'm dropping some gems because I feel like I don't know, I just want to help people and share what's going on with me to help somebody else, because somebody might be feeling the same way that I feel today or that I felt yesterday. So another thing that I feel like with just self-care in entirety, in its whole entirety, I want people to know that it's to know that you don't need fixing. You are not broken, because a lot of us, when we're not taking care of ourselves, we equate that to depression, and that's what I learned to not do, because it's easy to get the two confused. Because when and it's pretty much the same. Because when you're not taking care of yourself, you do get depressed, but it's not depression that you're battling. So you are not a broken person. You are not just depressed, and there's nothing wrong if you are. But if you got there, you stopped taking care of yourself. You did. Somewhere along the line, you went down. You went downwards. And that does not mean that you're broken. It just means that you're not properly caring for yourself. So I hope by watching this video that people understand the gist of what I'm saying about self-care, real self-care, that it's us, it's how we love ourselves, it's how we treat ourselves. Again, it's how compassionate we are to ourselves. Because 9 times out of 10, I don't know if y'all know this, but you have a conscience, and you're with yourself literally all the time. You're just thinking, I'm thinking this and this, that, and the other. You want happy thoughts. You want a happy life. You want a happy you. So you have to start by telling yourself to take care of yourself, because you are the only person that's going to take care of you. And that's the truth. That's the honest to God truth. You know how you feeling. Like, I mean, somebody can't tell me what I feel, and nobody can do that. Nobody can tell you what you feel. You can tell yourself what you feel, because you know what you feel. So in that order, you're the only person that knows how to care for yourself. And that's what I want this video to be about. I want this video to make people get up, feel motivated, and know the answer to self-care. Know that the answer is not getting your body done. Even if you want your body done, I'm not saying don't do that. I don't object to any of that. I'm saying do that, but know that it's not self-care. Know that if you get that body done, you still gotta care for it. Know if you get that body done, it's still not gonna make you feel better, because internally you have to learn to love yourself. So this video is mainly about loving yourself and doing the real proper self-care. Not just getting in the bath and soaking in some bubbles for a day and doing all this little regimen, skincare, massage, nails, feet. That's more like treating yourself. That's more like pampering yourself, but not self-care. It's not taking care of yourself. That's just something that comes with along after the self-care. So I just want to say, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please make sure you do subscribe. I'm glad that you watched this video. If you did watch this video, I'm glad that you made it to the end of this video. If you have anything that you may want to discuss prior to this video, I am a nice person, so you can always comment and I will respond. Like, I'm that nice. If you can relate and you want to put something down and that somebody else can read, or share your story, share what self-care is, if I left anything out, you're more than welcome to do so. And with that being said, I just want to say thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe.